We are a river city, a bold city, the First Coast, a place to create and to belong. Here, the sun shines a little brighter, and so do the people. We share a love for our region, a pride for Jacks, and a passion for the beautiful game, dedicated to giving everyone a sporting chance. Together, we will elevate soccer and sport in our community by lifting every voice. We are Sporting Club Jacksonville. We are Sporting Jacks.
Hello and welcome into the Sporting Jacks Report. I'm Cole Pepper. Emerson Burris will join me shortly. Coming up, we celebrate a local high school player being honored, how Sporting Jacks is giving shout-outs to local teachers, and we'll get to know midfielder Thomas Roberts. We'll also look back on a busy weekend at home and look ahead to today's games for both the men and the women. But let's start with last Saturday's historic doubleheader. Never before had men's and women's pro teams representing Jacksonville held a doubleheader on the same day here in town. Two teams representing the city playing on the same day, but that's exactly what we had with the women hosting Brooklyn FC, followed by the men facing the Tampa Bay Rowdies at Hodges Stadium. Let's start with the women, who entered the weekend with playoff clinching scenarios. The first thing they had to do was get a result against Brooklyn. Here we go. Brooklyn had the best of it early on, but after the first quarter hour, Sporting Jacks started to create some opportunities. Bailey Smith wins the ball, lays it off to Ashlyn Puerta. Beautifully weighted pass to Paige Kenton, who rolls her 9th goal of the year into the back of the net. It's 1-0 Sporting Jacks. Take another look at it here. That ball is placed perfectly, and Puerta continues to add to her numbers. Then, second half, Sporting Jacks in the box. Andrea Fernandez off to Kenton. Her shot blocked, but Sophia Bowman there to put it in. This is a great look at it here. Look at the way that Bowman moves from off the ball, just waits for it, and then the perfect strike. 2-0 Sporting Jacks, and that was good enough to start things, and they would clinch as a result of other results around the league. Sporting Jacks into the postseason. Here are the numbers from the match. You see Sporting Jacks had slightly more of possession, had way more shots on target, and took care of business 2-0. Not everybody was aware that Sporting Jacks clinched on Monday night. Some of the players, like Ashlyn Puerta, who doesn't have social media, learned about it the next day. But here are the standings with Sporting Jacks atop, 4 points clear of Lexington. Now, there is still more work to be done. Sporting Jacks has not clinched a home playoff game that will go to the top 2 seeds. They've not clinched the Players' Shield that goes to the top seed in the regular season. But the lowest they can wind up is 4th. And it could get even better as the weeks go on. Sporting Jacks, an expansion team atop the table and clinching a playoff spot. Boy, what a time for this group of young ladies.
Yeah, I'm going to be very honest. I didn't even know. I feel like us as a team, we don't really pay attention to the stats or the leaderboard very much. So we're just focused on the next game and what we need to do to win that game. And obviously, if you win every game, then you're going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was obviously a goal before I even came to the team. And since I've been a part of it, I realized that the team is really driven towards that. And there's a lot more goals set up for us.
Obviously a bonus at the end of the game, celebrating the fact that we met our first target for the season. So obviously congratulations to the ladies. They've done an amazing job.
Well, let's now welcome in Becky Burley. Becky, pretty remarkable for an expansion team to clinch with 6 games still to play.
Honestly, that is an epic achievement. When you think about how recent this team has been put together, how everyone else in the league had a year to sort of tinker, and for them to be the first team to clinch, that's amazing. It's quite a story.
Well, thinking about the future, there are still some goals to be accomplished, but do you see Stacey Balaam resting some players as they continue to chase the regular season championship?
It's interesting because we talked a little bit about this when before the Spokane game. Do you look ahead? Do you stay present? I'm always a big proponent of staying present. That doesn't mean you can't adjust some things and manage some playing time if you need to. But I think that would really be more on a need basis as opposed to like a proactive just doing it basis.
Well, Sporting Jacks is going to have to play without center back Georgia Brown, who's playing for Scotland during World Cup qualifying. How do you see Sporting Jacks handling that?
I was really paying attention to the set pieces in this last game, defensive set pieces, because she is such just a safety net back there with anything that's played in the air. So somebody's going to have to step up in that role. But at the same time, I do think there's some pieces that can be sort of moved around. Illig is a great choice as a center back. Lester can play center back, or Illig can move to center back. Lester can move back into the back three. Parker Roberts is still somebody that can play there. I mean, gosh, there's just a lot of options. And maybe that's a blessing in disguise to get some minutes and some options of different looks as they head into the playoffs.
Becky, thank you. Sporting Jacks making a push to the playoffs, and you can be a part of it. The Push to the Playoffs bundle includes tickets to the remaining home games, also gives you an early shot at playoff tickets when they become finalized. Be a part of history and cheer the women on to the postseason. Get your Push to the Playoffs pack today by calling 904-863-KICK or by logging on to sportingjacks.com. Now to the men who are looking for the first win of the season. Moreover, they are looking for a 90-minute performance. While they have flashed for stretches of games, they wanted to put together a full performance. With unbeaten and untied Tampa Bay Rowdies in town, they would be tested. To Hodges Stadium we go, and Sporting Jacks with a chance in the opening half. 33rd minute, Kieran Sadlier puts one on the left foot, but it is off the post, and no better than that for Sporting Jacks for the moment. Keeper Robert Pack with an opportunity at it there. Then, right before the end of the half, Sebastian Cruz for the Tampa Bay Rowdies gets some room on his right foot. He hits it off the post. It's cleared out, and we would go to halftime 0-0. Later in the second half, Tampa Bay again trying to build something. 84th minute, but this time they couldn't find their way through. 95th minute, last minute of stoppage time. And oh boy, this is a heartbreaker. Evan Conway the header, and that's the way it ends. Tampa Bay stays unbeaten and untied. Sporting Jacks still looking for that first victory, a much better performance. They can't quite get the result they're looking for at home. Take a look at the stats, and Sporting Jacks really changed their shape, played much more conservatively, allowed Tampa Bay to have possession. You see 70% possession for Tampa Bay, but only surrendered 3 shots on target. Unfortunately, one of them found the way in. A 1-0 victory for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Now, Sporting Jacks have to pick themselves up as they look forward to a matchup with Detroit.
We work so hard and we put so much into the game that sometimes things like that happen, but I'm somebody that looks at positives, and I would say out of all the teams we've played and the teams I've watched on TV and highlights, Tampa comfortably the best I've seen. Maybe 1 or 2 others that we haven't played yet as well. But I think if you were to ask them what their thoughts were, I'd say we were probably one of, if not their toughest game of the season so far. So for me, that's a positive to take, and the fact that we can push on and try and beat what comes up next.
Again, it's just another challenge for us. It's another part of the league that some players have never experienced before. But at the end of the game, it's a game of football. So, okay, they may be on Astro, the pitch may be small, the surroundings may not be what, but they'll use that to their advantage as well. So we need to make sure that we go there with the right attitude and the right mentality.
Just continue to just create more chances, and just continue to just do well with the defensive structure that we've been doing. But then also just create more chances and score more goals. Obviously, like, to win, you got to score goals, and to win, you got to defend the goal.
All right, let's welcome in our analyst, Corey Herzog. Corey, what did you see as far as the positives from Saturday's game?
Yeah, I thought it was their best overall performance. I mean, obviously everybody says play the full 90 minutes. Obviously there was 95 in there, so in the 95th minute had a little miscommunication, unfortunate for the goal, but I thought it was their best 90 to 93 minutes that they played this year.
Talk about what is important when you're not getting the results in order to, keep morale up. You've been on both ends of this. What does it take to soldier through?
Yeah, you just want to keep the boys and keep building those relationships. Obviously, you're only five games in early in the season. Keep those relationships. Keep training during the week a little bit lighter towards the beginning of the week, and then gradually just make sure they're having fun. I mean, obviously, not having a win yet is very tough, but you want to keep those relationships and just continue to have fun during the week.
Thank you, Corey. Let's take a look at the USL Championship Eastern Conference standings. Tampa Bay on top, unbeaten, untied, the only team in the league with that to fall back on. Lou City tied on points, although they did drop one at home to Charleston Battery. Hey, expect to see Tampa, Lou City, Charleston Battery, and probably Hartford all near the top of the table this year. Sporting Jacks will take on Detroit City next. That's later on today. Detroit City, 2 wins and a draw through their first 4. I also want to point out at the bottom of the table, you see Sporting Jacks there, but Rhode Island, Loudoun United, Birmingham Legion, all looking for their first victory. So if Sporting Jacks gets a win, that will launch them up the table very quickly. Still a long, long way to go. And now that Sporting Jacks has everybody in camp, we'll look for a climb up the table. In the Western Conference, a little more balanced. San Antonio and El Paso have not been beaten, but both have had at least one draw thus far. Only 2 teams without a victory, Phoenix Rising and Monterey Bay. Also going to be interesting to see how the Oakland Roots manage. That's a team that will take on Tampa Bay next. We'll see if they can give the Rowdies the same kind of test that Sporting Jacks gave this past week. And we will have another doubleheader coming for you on April the 25th when the women face off against Lexington in a battle for the top of the table. That's followed by the men playing Miami FC in the group stage of the Brinks Tires USL Cup. Both games can be seen on Channel 4, and tickets are available by calling 904-863-KICK or by going to sportingjacks.com. And if you just want to jump on board with the men, prorated season tickets are on sale now for the rest of the Sporting Jacks men's season. You get the rest of the games in the USL Championship, plus at least 2 games in the Brinks Tires USL Cup, and all the action from the USL Championship. Call 904-863-KICK or visit sportingjacks.com. Coming up, from Arkansas to the international stage, why one Sporting Jacks midfielder says Jacksonville feels like a breath of fresh air. That's next as the Sporting Jacks Report rolls on. Every game in the Gainbridge Super League can be seen streaming on Peacock. Home games can be seen on Channel 4, CW17, or right here on the stations of First Coast News. And all games in the USL Championship can be streaming on ESPN Plus or CBS Golazo. That's when they're not nationally broadcast on CBS, CBS Sports Network, and ESPN2. Home games for the men can be seen on Channel 4 or CW17. It is time now for our Ascension St. Vincent's player feature. And this week, Emerson talked about a guy who came in late to camp but is already making an impact.
Absolutely. Now 5 games into the season, this team is beginning to find their identity, powered by a roster full of players who bring not just experience but a journey. Midfielder Thomas Roberts has taken a path from Arkansas to Europe, and now he's back looking to make his mark right here in Jacksonville. For Thomas Roberts, the journey started in an unlikely place for a future pro.
I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. Lived in Arkansas until I was about 13 years old. And then I moved to Dallas, and that's where I kind of grew up. I played in the academy there, and that's where my family lives now.
That move changed everything, turning a dream into something real.
Soccer isn't very big in Arkansas. That's why I had to move to Dallas. And then when I got to Dallas, I could kind of see like, okay, like there's a possibility that I could possibly go pro at this. And then I just kind of like went full in and just went for it.
From there, Roberts' career quickly expanded beyond Dallas, taking him to opportunities both in the U.S. and overseas.
I signed a homegrown contract when I was 17, and I was there till 2022. And then like in 2021, I played in Austria, first division there. Then after I went to Columbus, I was in Columbus Crew for a year. And then after that, I went to Norway, and I played in Norway for a year and a half. Last 2 months of last year, I played at NCFC.
Now in Jacksonville, Roberts says this stop feels different.
It's been a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. I like it. Honestly, like I enjoyed my time in North Carolina, but this is much like this area. Jacksonville is a nice place.
And it's not just the soccer. He's already finding ways to feel at home.
I love to fish. Yeah. I fish. I grew up like bass fishing in Arkansas and in Dallas too. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And just hanging out with my friends. So
on the field or off of it, Roberts is all about connection with his teammates and the people around him.
We have a really good group. off the field, everyone's cool. You can hang out with anybody.
After stops across the country and overseas, Robert says this opportunity just feels different.
This group, we have a really good group, and I feel like the results aren't showing right now, but once we get that first win, I think the monkey's off our back, and I feel like we'll just start flowing. So I'm excited for what's to come.
Roberts and the men are still searching for that first win, but as he said, once it comes, the team believes they can build momentum quickly. How nice to have another Arkansas kid here, too.
Well, that's big for you. And by the way, I love the look on his face. The picture from his younger days catching a fish.
Yeah.
He's in the right place if he wants to do some fishing in his spare time. Emerson, thanks so much. Last weekend's doubleheader was a first, but it's not the last. The next time both the men and the women will play at home is April the 25th, when the women take on Lexington and the men face Miami FC. For tickets, head to sportingjacks.com or call 904-863-KICK. A North Florida goalkeeper is turning heads across the state. Coming up, how one standout season in net is earning major recognition and rewriting the record books. That's next as the Sporting Jacks Report continues. Now that both the men and the women are playing at the same time, at least for now, be sure to get your Sporting Jacks merch. You can rep your pro soccer team around town or at the games. Use the QR code on your screen or go to sportingjacks.com/shop to check out everything we have in our online store. It is time now for the Youth Soccer Spotlight presented by ViStar. And Emerson, this week, looking at another individual who had an outstanding season.
Well, the Episcopal keeper Drew Monti sure is making a name for himself, racking up shutouts and earning FHSAA 2A Player of the Year honors after a record-breaking season in net. He's the last line of defense in a wall his opponents can't seem to crack. Drew Monti, goalkeeper at Episcopal High School in Jacksonville, finished the season with 16 clean sheets and just 12 goals allowed, conceding more than one goal only once all year. Over his career, Monti has tallied 37 shutouts, solidifying his place as one of the top players in the state. It's that consistency and dominance in net that earned him FHSAA 2 Player of the Year honors and plenty of attention from colleges. From his command in goal to the way he lifts his team, Monti's season will be remembered long after the final whistle.
Everything. I mean, like I said, this year was a culmination of the last 4 years. A lot of hard work, working out, like I said, the Kings in the earlier years. Didn't have great seasons in my 8th grade and freshman year, but just keep working. Just hard work paying off. Yeah, I mean, I owe it to all my guys, my back line. It was really a group effort. I mean, I'm the one that received the award, but really it's a reflection of my back line and their defensive prowess and able to stay calm during games. So, and really, it was just a culmination of the last 4 years coming in. It was a great thing. I'm really proud of the award. At Sewanee University of the South, it is a small D3 school in Tennessee, and I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, I can find my way into the starting roster soon, early, and really hopefully have similar successes like I did in high school and college.
Monti says that success starts with the same mindset, hard work and trusting the team in front of him.
Whenever you hear a goalkeeper who's willing to give credit to his back line, first of all, smart man. Secondly, that is a unit, and they did a great job this year for Jay Bolt's team. Emerson, thanks so much. For more on Sporting Jacks in the world of soccer, join me every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010XL when I'm joined by the head coach Liam Fox and Stacey Balaam. Plus Sporting Jacks players, it's the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show presented by Honda of the Avenues. You can listen on air at 1010 a.m. or online or on demand at 1010xl.com. And for behind-the-scenes conversations about Sporting Jacks, join Emerson, Tony Allegretti, and me on the Sporting Pod. You can subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. A new episode drops every week. Coming up, a new program from Sporting Jacks to celebrate teachers in our area. What Heart and Hustle is all about as the Sporting Jacks Report rolls on. A reminder, you can catch the Sporting Jacks Report every weekend on the stations of First Coast News. Next week we air Saturday at noon on NBC 12, just before Premier League coverage begins. Remember, you can also find us on demand on First Coast News Plus and the Sporting Jacks YouTube channel. Time now for our Community Spotlight presented by Honda of the Avenues. And this week, We're talking about the new Heart and Hustle Award. This is a new program that highlights health and physical education leaders who teach, model, and inspire active lifestyles for students across Jacksonville. This month, it's Nicole Hall from Fort Caroline Elementary. Sporting Jacks players Kate Parks and Meg Hughes presented Ms. Hall with the honor this week. She'll be honored at a game as well. And in the future, the school will get a full-scale fan experience day with soccer activities, obstacle courses, and health-focused, high-energy programming promoting active living to create a lasting impact beyond this recognition. Educators are nominated by principals in Duval County Schools. Congratulations and thanks for all you do. And if your child is excited about soccer, register them now for the competitive season in the Sporting Jacks Soccer Academy. From U8 to U19, teams are forming now. The season runs August through May with the playoffs to follow. Go to sportingjacksacademy.com to register now. And we have another doubleheader coming up for you, as we have mentioned. April the 25th is the date when the women face off against Lexington. That is a battle atop the table in the Gainbridge Super League. That's followed by the men playing Miami FC. Second time those two sides will play here in Jacksonville. That's a part of the Prinks Tires USL Cup. Both games can be seen on Channel 4. And tickets are available by calling 904-863-KICK or by going to sportingjacks.com. Also want to remind you that for everything up to date with Sporting Jacks, be sure to follow us across all our social media platforms. We're on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll have a lot more as we look ahead to a big summer of soccer, including the World Cup. We are just 63 days until the start of the World Cup here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It is going to be a major time for the sport in this country. We'll say goodbye, and as we leave you, some of the images of local kids getting to know Sporting Jacks pros after games. This is a great reason to bring the kids out to Sporting Jacks. See you next time right here on the Sporting Jacks Report.